Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Mine's going really good. We're springtime's here. It's really warm. I had to break out my shorts. So I had on my pants the other day and I thought, man, it's too hot for pants. So I broke out my shorts. I'm all set. So listen, I want to talk to you for just a minute about a couple of miracles that happened in the Bible. You know, Walter Reed Naval Hospital is named after a pool in the Bible, and it's called Bethesda. So that's where that Naval Hospital in Maryland takes its name from. So it says, now there was in Jerusalem at the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches, and in these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then is first after the troubling of water, whoever steps in is made whole from whatever disease he had. People, this pool had a history of healing. If people weren't being healed, eventually everybody would just walk away from the pool and it'd just be a pool. But no, it had a history of healing people. Now a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie there, he knew that he'd been there a long time, and he said to him, would you be made whole? The impotent man answered him, sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to help me down in the water, and someone else always jumps in before me. So this guy had a problem. He couldn't reach the water in time, and therefore he would never be healed. But yet he waited day in and day out thinking just maybe someone would help him into the water. Well, someone did help him. Jesus said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole. He took up his bed and walked, and that same day was the Sabbath. Jesus loved to heal on the Sabbath. There are many accounts of him doing that. So Jesus solved all of his problems. He was healed, he headed home, and all of a sudden he comes up with a new problem. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, it's a Sabbath day. It's not lawful for you to carry your bed. And the guy said, hey, this man named Jesus healed me. And he told me to pick up my bed and carry it. And they said, where is he? And he said, I don't know which way he went. So the guy just rats him out. He was caught carrying his bed on the Sabbath, and immediately he put the blame on Jesus. Afterward, Jesus found him in the temple. And he said unto him, behold, you are made whole. Now here's the part I want you to remember. He said, go and sin no more, lest something worse come upon thee. Guys, you know that's the only person that Jesus ever said that to? Everybody else was so grateful to be healed, and they were just, they were worshiping him. Not this guy. This guy didn't even say thank you. He grabbed up his bed and left. And Jesus tells him, go and sin no more, lest something worse come upon you. So Jesus told him, you continue living the way you've been living, and something's going to happen. So what does he do? He goes straight to the Pharisees and said, hey, I found the guy that healed me. It was Jesus. He's the one that told me to carry my bed. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus and sought to slay him because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. You know, it'll be interesting to know when we get to heaven what finally happened to this guy. If he actually started serving the Lord or if he went right back to his old sinful life. You know what? Jesus knew this guy's heart. That's why he told him that. That's why he warned him. People never forget the sevenfold curse. Never forget the sevenfold curse. I've seen this so many times in my life where people go back to their former life and something way worse comes upon them. I've seen it myself. Matthew 12, 43 to 45 says, when an unclean spirit has gone out of a man, he walks through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. Then he says, I'll return to my house from whence I came out. And when he has come, he finds it empty, swept and garnished. Then he goes and takes unto himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. Even shall so it be to this wicked generation. So Jesus warned the guy, don't return to sin. Something worse is going to come upon you. Now guys, look at the difference between these two guys. When this guy gets caught carrying his bed, he instantly rats out Jesus. He doesn't know exactly who he is or where he is, but when Jesus finds him in the temple, immediately he runs to the Pharisees and rats him out. Look at the difference between that guy, and remember the guy that was blind his entire life, born blind? When Jesus healed him, also on the Sabbath day, when Jesus heals him and the Pharisees called that man in, that guy defended Jesus. He said, what? He said, listen, it's never been heard of anybody opening the eyes of the blind. If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. He's a prophet. And they finally kicked him out of the synagogue. He defended Jesus with his very life, and this other guy rats him out. People, listen. Whenever God delivers you from something, whenever God heals you, whenever you have a blessing in your life, never turn around and walk back to the old way of life. Because this sevenfold curse is a real thing, and it will jack you up. I've seen it many times. Anyhow, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell you choose, just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.